Good morning. I want to look at 1 Corinthians 13:8 and through the end of the chapter. Just read it to you and make just a quick comment. Love never ends. As for prophecies, they will pass away. As for tongues, they will cease. As for knowledge, it'll pass away. For we know in part and we prophesy in part, but when the perfect comes, the partial will pass away. When I was a child, I spoke like a child. I thought like a child. I reasoned like a child. When I became a man, I gave up childish ways. For now we see in a mirror dimly, but then face to face. Now I know in part, then I shall know fully, even as I have been fully known. So now faith, hope, and love abide, these three. But the greatest of these is love. The Corinthians became intoxicated in their minds with the revelatory gifts, prophecy, tongues, things like that. Paul's point here is not that they have ceased already, but that they will cease. There'll come a time in the future, namely, as he talks here, that while we know in part now, the time when we will know fully, when we become ultimately a man and we get away from childish ways and so forth. The sense is here that he's talking about the return of Christ and the end of the age, the consummation of all things. At that point, the revelatory gifts are not necessary. He's trying to take something that they prized, these revelations, and let them know that those revelations, while he'll talk about in the next chapter, chapter 14, how they do merit something, they don't actually endure. That they will come to an end. But rather, love, he says, never ends. And literally in Greek it says love does not or never falls down. Never falls down, never falls back. The idea is love is that enduring stronghold that will always form the key components to meld an eternal community together. When we go to heaven, will there be love? Yes. Unhindered love. Intimate love. The kind of love where, as the poet and writer George MacDonald used to say, I think maybe in heaven we'll be like translucent souls that could pass through, one could pass through another. It's in a crazy picture, but an interesting one. It's this poetic way of saying intimacy will be ours to have without the hindrance of sin. That will make the fabric of love so readily woven. It never ends. So when you love, you're living, if I speak theologically, you're living eschatologically. You're pulling the future, the eschaton, the last things. You're pulling them back into the present. You're pulling the eternal community of love and giving a shaft of the glory. You're giving a seed of it right now. Love never ends. So this is why love's important. So today I want you to think about how when you love somebody well, that you're actually living out the centerpiece of a future glorious and beautiful community. May the Lord bless you today.